music on there. I'm getting the audio tested out and going for it, see what's happening. Now I have to go check X out. See if we got this. Pretty sure that I've got it set up. Not quite sure, but we can always find out in a second. Got Twitch, Kick, and D Live in the process of going, so I'll check Kick first, see if the stream actually kicks in. Then I'll go to Twitch, find out there. There we go, it's kicking in, so. Sounds good on Kick. Go to Twitch. It does say manage stream, so let's find out real quick. Sounds good on Twitch. And now I have to go to D Live. Something is always wrong on D Live. It's always got something wrong with it, so I'm getting used to the habit of fixing whatever problem there is. Yeah. Stream URL. Hit save. Yeah. Usually when I go into the stream thing and hit save, it usually straightens itself out, so it does sound good. So tonight, so that everybody knows, I am going to be doing Dragus production. It's the first night that I'll be live streaming it on YouTube. The first part, which is Censorship Sucks, will be streamed on the Praetorian, and then after the Praetorian, there's Jack, who has his show, as well as Nancy Planeta, who has her show, and I will be doing those on the Wonderful World of Weirdness. So we will be doing that until they get started. Though I'm gonna put some cool music that I finally put together from Illuminati on Rumble. His channel is for Hacker Radio. This is for Rumble Radio, or Rumble Studios. If you guys are on that platform, go check him out and give him some support. He's a pretty cool guy, and he's easy to get along with, so just remember that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that started.
Begins to spin. Is this real, or where do we begin? I saw a shadow move, but no one's there. A flicker in the corner caught me unaware. Reality's bending, it's starting to tear. Are we just puppets in some grand affair? I'm caught in loops, deja vu. Everything's spinning, but nothing's true. Time slips away, I'm feeling lost in this glitching world. What's the cost? Bridges in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin? Faces blur, they're not the same. People I know don't recall my name. Voices echo in a distant frame. Is this life, or just some twisted dream? I'm chasing echoes, searching clues. Every step forward, something to lose. The world's unraveling, I can't pretend. Are we at the start, or is this the end? Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin? Red pill, blue pill, what's the choice? In the silence, can you hear my voice? Break free or stay, there's no right way. In this fractured world, we start to sway. Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin? Caught in the chaos, we try to find the truth that's hidden deep in our mind. In the flicker of light, in the glitchy night, we're lost in the matrix, searching for what's right. Saw a shadow move, but no one's there. People I know don't recall my name. Voices echo in a distant frame. Is this life, or just some twisted game? Saw a shadow move, but no one's there. Flicker in the corner, caught me unaware. Truth is hiding in the dark. Every flicker leaves the mark. Saw a shadow move, but no one's there. Flicker in the corner, caught me unaware. Truth is hiding in the dark. Every flicker leaves the mark. Glitches in the matrix, minds are getting thin. Patterns break, the code begins to spin. Is this real, or just a dream within? Glitches in the matrix, where do we begin?
Glitch in the code tonight. See the world in neon light. Fight to free our minds. Truth we seek to find. Run through crowded streets. Dodge the agents flee. Bullet time it slows. Reality it blows. Reloaded we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Machines control the skies. Human in them never dies. Messages and dreams. Nothing's what it seems. Reloaded we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Run through crowded streets. Dodge the agents flee. Bullet time it slows. Reality it blows. Reloaded we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Machines control the skies. Human in them never dies. Messages and dreams. Nothing's what it seems. Reloaded we are free. In the matrix we will be. On this journey we will go. Feel the energy we know. Machines control the skies. Human in them never dies. Messages and dreams. Nothing's what it seems. Choose to open doors. Fight through endless wars. Code it changes fast. Hope it's built to last.
Fucking set it up, cunt!
Yeah, that's it. Fucking oath.
Cunt! Fuck off, cunt!
On I'm a cunt from way back, yes I'm the original, not political. This is more analytical. On myself I approach your computer with stealth. Not for wealth, more like a magazine shooting off so clean. Because I'm keen, no other meaning, it's obscene. If you're not around, well then I'm going to town and take you down with my Kali Linux system. Using my wisdom, hacking in, no way to resist them. Exfiltrate all your sensitive loot, it's a hoot. No time to reboot, just shoot and execute. When you're out of town, it's your world that crashes. Look on your Facebook as the anger flashes. No one can stop me from tapping that line. So how about next time we don't intertwine online? You've got no two-factor authentication. As the cops came, I'm gone, no altercation.
I got your back, but you best to watch your front. Cause Mr. Robot's in front and I'm a cunt. I got your back, but you best to watch your front. Cause Mr. Robot's in front and I'm a cunt.
Such a cunt and I'm bringing my forte. I'm the kind of cunt I'd even make a whore pay. Your way or mine, don't cross the line. Cause I'm even worse when I'm drunk on the cheap wine. Sometimes I snap, act out for vandalism. And other times I'll just diss you to the rhythm. Prison couldn't hold a cunt like me, not likely. Cause I direct shit like Spike Lee. But this ain't a movie, this is real life. I'd fuck your life just to cause some strife. I've done a lot of cunty things, and out of all the cunts you know, I'd be the king. But you best to watch your front, cause robots in front and I'm a cunt. I got your back, but you best to watch your front, cause robots in front and I'm a cunt. This is for the cunts who clap and love the sound. Attacking from the cloud, then I'm back in underground. There's no masking from me now. Popping tornadoes round the globe, track and hunt you down. I think I'll need a planet-sized urn, cause some men just wanna see the world burn. Now it's your turn. Got your back. Puts robots in front and I'm a cunt. One thing I do, and this is true, I'm sometimes a cunt to all of my crew. You know the usual stealing of hashes, and I'm known to burn cunts down to ashes. They say, hey cunt, when I answer the phone. They say, where's Robot? I say, the cunt's not home. I say, where are you cunts, and what are you cunts doing? And when I'm pissed off, they say, Robot, the cunt is spewing. No one will do it, your sister I'll be screwing in the lewin. And I guess that you knew I'm not looking for a crew, but I know it's true that you are a fucking cunt too. Cunt. Mess with the best, die like the rest.
Sound. Boom, crash, as go pop. Earthplane wave of a body drops. They're here, we're doomed. From Mars to Earth, bodies consumed. Marble shake, the ground will quake. No time to run too late, too late. Ack. Look at them coming down. Ack, boom, boom. Ack, boom, bass pow. Ow. Ack, boom, 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 boom. The bass go boom, come in peace. Ack, the bass ack, boom, boom, pow. Take cover, laser beam, pow. Head spinning, Martian proud. They blew up Congress after top of a bass drop. Heavy, now stop. Boom, ack, on the attack. We're under siege, no time to pack. Boom, bass ack, here comes the hack. Boom, ack, wobble, pow. Boom, they guarded room. The bass pow, boom. Ashes flash, taking over, boom, boom. Earthquakes, bodies drop. Ack, stomp, sap, skirt, pow. We're losing track. Don't run, we are your friends. Bass wobbles can't hold back. Boom, ack, boom, boom, ack, boom, bass pow, ow, boom, 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 Russian rain. Bass pow, no more pain. Release the dust, boom pow, the bass wheels to save the human race. Pow, Martians flee, boom boom, victory. Beatbox slay, Earth lives to fight another day. Boom boom, boom bass pow, pow, boom 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 boom, boom boom boom. The bass go boom, come in peace. Circle the bass stack, boom boom pow. Don't make a sound. Boom, crash, heads go pop. Earth ain't ready, but body drops. They're here, we're doomed. From Mars to Earth, bodies consumed. Marble shake, or the ground will quake. No time to rush, we're on too late, too late. Attack, look at them coming down.
Give it to me, baby. What you got? What you got?
time roll. Come on, honey, let the good time roll. Good time roll. Harder. Come on, honey, let the good time roll. Let's roll. Come on, honey, let the good time roll. Good times roll. Come on, honey, let the good time roll. Come on, honey, let the good
Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. You only live for once, and when you're dead, you're done. So let the good time roll. I say let the good time roll. I don't care if you're young or old. You ought to get together and let the good time roll. Don't sit there mumbling, talking trash.
Oh man, yeah. It's a music, baby. Check me out, huh? Right. Hey, I keep it moving, coming right into the prime time. I do not think I belong on the sideline. Oh, you don't like my style? Okay, likewise. Bye. Do not try to cross me if you're in your right mind. See me shine bright, shining like a supernova, lighting up the night sky. Put me in the limelight, like-minded people stay connected like I'm Wi-Fi. Only crushing bangers like it is my 9-5. No, I'm never lazy when I write rhymes. People give me high fives. Always deliver, cause that is my style. So what you know about it? Think that you can do it like I doubt it. Yeah. Ooh, I do it like that. Drop another banger, then I bring it right back. Right into the hit song just for fun. They can't do it like me because I am the one. I am the one. So come along as I show the people how it's done. I don't want a lot, I just want to be the number one. I'm coming from places I do not belong. Rise against the wind, never lazy, keep on going strong. I don't know, it just happens like that. Can drop a bad song, but I don't have the patience for that. I'm sorry, I can't help it, I'm just keeping it clean. Look at these people bouncing, see what I mean? I don't need to, I do this just for fun. But I guess I am just, well, you know, the one. Ooh, I do it like that. Drop another banger, then I bring it right back. Right into the hit song just for fun. They can't do it like me because I am the one. I am the one. So what you know about that?
Hey, Smoke and Peace, welcome into the Kick Chat. Smoke and Peace, welcome into the Kick Chat. Smoke and Peace, welcome into the Kick Chat. Yeah, I had some players open, sorry about that. Setting up tonight for all the Dragus Production streams. It is 25 June 2025. First show starting out tonight will be the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. And we're going to have a pre-show for that. I hope everybody is doing well. I had a great week. Slowly but surely getting all of our platforms up. And we will be good to go here shortly. I will also be connecting up with Censorship Sucks and the rest of the crew here very shortly. So, hope everybody had a great week and is planning for a great weekend coming up. It is Hump Day, that's for damn sure. We're going to have all sorts of stuff for you tonight. From headlines to paranormal and much, much more. Maybe even a little bit of conspiracy. And you never know where we're gonna be going on a night like this. So we appreciate each and every one of you coming in tonight. Thank you for joining the channel. And no matter what platform you are on, we're always there. I always try to follow back and keep tabs with all the folks that follow us here as well. There isn't a channel that I don't like that supports us. So please continue to help us, and us to help you as well. But okay. There we go. Thanks, Roger. I'd like to please shout out all our restreamers out there. Roger Hansen, the associate of Dragus Productions, restreaming on his platforms, as well as Great Conspiracy. Appreciate each and every one of you guys and gals out there who help us out. And I follow you guys back, and even sometimes I even will show up on their shows or their streams when they're not even restreaming. I'll be part of like their cast. So keep an eye out. You just never know where you'll find a Dragus production or me coming into their chat or other folks' chats. We love each and every one of you, and I hope you guys and gals out there appreciate us. Or me coming to do that stream key for BitChute. Some of the platforms are just taking a little longer tonight. I know there's been a lot of weird stuff that's been going on out there in the world. Especially with internet issues all over the place. Trying to work out this BitChute issue over here, but hopefully I can get it going. If not, well, you know, hey. There we go. Sometimes some places need a little coaxing. Let me bring up Censorship and the rest of the crew making that call. Barry, John.
Hey, what up?
Not too much. How about you?
Not much.
Had
Not much. Just gearing up for a new show here.
Yeah, I just had a little bit of issue with one of the platforms, but we're good to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I had a fucking scary thing happen this morning, man.
What?
All of a sudden, Blue just starts, like, having convulsions, you know?
Oh, no.
I don't know what it was. She just was, like, rolling around in circles. She was bashing her head into the ground in the concrete.
What did she get into?
I don't know. I had to, like, hold her for like a half an hour just sitting on the ground outside.
Oh my God.
And then, you know, she calmed down a little bit. I kind of got her up and she couldn't really walk.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got her over, you know, to the rig and got her up into the bed and just laid with her there for a while. She was drooling. It was just horrifying. I mean,
Yeah.
she was paralyzed almost for a little bit, and it just freaked her out. But she has since been sleeping most of the day inside here with me, and only now just went outside, and she seems fine with it. You know, she seems to be doing a lot better. Although she just had a rough experience this morning, you know what I mean? She can walk, her legs are working.
Yeah.
But holy crap, man, it was scary as hell.
Yeah, that don't sound fun at all. I mean,
No. It was horrifying, man. Hey, Barry.
Hey, I'm setting up, so I'm listening in on the speaker.
Okay.
Here.
yeah.
I was just saying how Blue had like an episode this morning, man. She was convoluting and I thought she was wrapped up in her leash, but she was like kept rolling over to one side and it was wrapping around her. I thought it wrapped around and like started strangling her or something. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but I, you know, got her, you know, free, got her lying down, and so far she's doing a lot better through the day. But not cool.
Yeah. Great Conspiracy is restreaming us, and so is Roger Hansen on their platforms. And Great Conspiracy says prayers go out to Blue.
Yay. Yeah, I was scared to death, man.
Yeah, where you're at, getting to a vet would not be fun because you're out in the middle of nowhere.
I'm probably 20 minutes from a vet. 15, maybe 20.
Oh, I thought you were further out than that.
No, not up here. I'm actually kind of close to town. I'm about 12 miles into town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a big enough town. It's got everything.
Do you know the vet there? Do you have someone that
No.
you could take her to that you know right offhand?
No.
Let's see. That's not cool. No.
Well, I didn't need one last summer when I was up here. It just never came up, and, you know, it would take me 2 minutes to find one. I mean,
Yeah.
open Google Maps and hit go.
All right. I'm going to go top my coffee off, and I'll be right back. You and Barry talk it out until I get back. if you can find Barry, you know, because he's setting up, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, folks. We're going to have a good show tonight regardless. I don't know. I was a little shaken up earlier today, and I was wondering if I was even going to be able to do this, but things are looking a lot better now. and she just seems tired now, you know. So, anyway, got a lot of stuff going on in the world. Looking forward to diving into all of it. Let's see. I got a chat. Let's see if I actually have a chat. Someone chatting with me. Yotivation Nation. Send me a direct message. Gotta love it. Oops. No, I don't want that. I want this. Hello, Mr. Sucks. Gosh, she just like types. Oh my God. This isn't even a 5-paragraph thesis essay. This is like a short book. But I love it. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm getting all my Yotivation updates here. I don't want to read it though, just because you know, obviously I don't know what's in it. I don't want to share anything. Wow. Oh, sorry, I'm just reading away, guys. Don't mind me. I'm trying to this is the pre-show, by the way. This is just kind of where we set up for the show. We all kind of come in and make sure we're all here, and you know, go a little back and forth. How's your day? What's going on? All that kind of stuff. So it's not you know, necessarily going to always be the most entertaining part of the 5-6 hour session that Mark will do tonight. But yeah, no, we like to try to you know, keep the conversation going at least. But I'm also trying to speak to you guys while I simultaneously read this long letter, which is kind of a talent on its own to be able to improv while also reading.
Are you talking to yourself?
Pretty much. I'm talking to everybody out there listening in. I'm just trying to keep it
And you know, it's every now and then you have to have, you know, just your own little discourse that you have among yourselves and among yourself and others, you know. It's healthy. So I'm
good, yeah. I was just mentioning how I got a nice long letter here from Yotivation, and I was trying to, you know, talk to everybody as I was simultaneously reading it, which probably didn't make for the most entertaining, but you know, maybe why you thought I was just talking to myself. Yeah.
I just heard like through the headphones, and it sounded like a monotone. It's like Napoleon Dynamite or something. And then I woke up this morning and I made some coffee, and then I put in some toast for some French toast. I get that though. That, you know, if you could be that like mellow all the time, nothing like would bend you out of shape. You know, nothing would like tick you off. You'd be. It's like, okay, really? Man, you're ugly, and your face, you know, it's jacked up. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're getting there. She's saying things are close to being back to where she can come back.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, she's selling one house, buying another one, remodeling a third one, and then, you know, just all that stuff. She's in the middle of all kinds of stuff. She's got some surgery she had to deal with on top of it all, and just, you know, it's hard for her to be on the show at this point in time, which is fine. So totally understandable. Wow.
Well, at least she's doing the expansionism thing and not the extinctionism thing, you know, like we were under Biden.
Mm-hmm. And this picture, this house she sent is beautiful. Wow. It's like on a lake, like the patio goes out right to the edge of the lake. Like if you jump off the patio, you can dive into the water. Nice. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Will biz. But yeah, she's doing her thing. She'll be back here soon enough. And well, she only does Sundays anyway, right?
Well, we brought her up in the show. We talked.
Yeah.
We talked about her. We brought her to light so that everybody knows that she's still, doing her thing, man.
Yeah. Whereas David Hogg, I kind of wish he'd jump back in and start insulting you again. I kind of miss him.
Well, it's something I could probably do without, but as far as that'd be great.
Yeah, I miss him. I hope he does come back. And just, come on. Just try not to rip on everyone quite as much. It's just favorite pastime, but it's like asking your dog not to hump your leg.
Well, maybe I frightened him. My bold, big bear stance. It's just too much for me. Can't handle it. I'm kidding, of course.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I'm getting some coffee, and I'll be right back.
All right. Monologue time, folks. I've got all my articles lined up and ready to go. I have currently 19 in the queue for tonight. Actually, more like 17 probably. Different articles that I brought up through the last 4 or 5 days to talk about what's going on in the world. Probably going to start tonight's show out talking about Iran and what's going on over there and how it looks like we've got a ceasefire. Hopefully that'll stay in place, man. That'd be fantastic if this thing doesn't escalate from here. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. Paris went down. My God, that music festival out there. It's Paris. I insist cannot have nice things anymore. They need to get rid of music festivals. They can't have them. Soccer can't have it. Outdoor dining can't have
it.
They're just a society that can't have nice things anymore. Period. They've proven that they can't handle having a music festival. It's way too dangerous, so no more music festivals for France. Sorry. It just it's like taking candy away from a kid. I'm sorry. You were bad. You were bad.
Well, I didn't catch but the tail end of that, but it sounds familiar, whatever it is you were saying. You've heard that song?
You heard me say it in the last show that Paris can't have nice things anymore. I said they shouldn't have soccer anymore. Now they can't have music festivals either. It's just they can't do it.
Well, good for them, man. Ruining their life. Well, what is it? 7 states now have denied the Frankenfood, the fake lab beef, laboratory meat. I'm like thinking, no, we will not eat the bugs, eat the fake meat, and own nothing because we are resisting, man. Now, the left is hell's
Shout out to King and Queen Bush Camp in the Kit Kat. Appreciate you. Sorry, I just got back.
Wait for him to finish a sentence.
No, I can't do that because it's just Barry, And, well, we don't have David Hogg, so someone has to come in and, talk over Barry a couple times.
He's mid-sentence and you're giving a shout-out.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's give a shout-out.
Shout-outs can wait until we have, a lull in the conversation.
How you doing, Timothy? Is that in stereo?
No, it's just echoey. That's all.
No, it's not. It's stereo.
Licensing, we're moving in stereo. Remember that song back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
You're old enough, you do.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I was just really, I just break the LP out after a night on the weekend, and put on the Cars, dude. It was just like the thing to do,
Yeah.
That was like the first Cars album, man. I don't know, dude. I love that album. And they got a little too new wavy for me, like the later ones, which they weren't bad, but the first two were probably by far the best.
Yeah, bands tend to have most of their best work early when they're true to their themselves, you know what I mean? And then later you get big and some, hotshot in Hollywood writes a song for you and your producer's like, yeah, dude, this is a guaranteed $1 million song. All you got to do is go out and sing it.
Yeah, and then sometimes they actually have good intentions. They just want to branch out and try something different, like do folk music or something. And not everybody can do folk music right or something,
Yeah.
I mean, Jack White, as much as I can't stand him, he's definitely a talented. The White Stripes former lead singer. He's talented. I can't stand the guy. He's obnoxious, but woke leftist weirdo. But other than that, he's talented. And he can do different genres, you know, and he's successful at it. Not everybody can do that, you know. So I kind of commend him for that. But sometimes when people branch out, it's like, oh no, you should have just, you know, stuck. You know, like one of the things a lot of people do is they go to country, and that doesn't work either a lot of times.
So you're trying to tell me to stay in my lane now, right?
Stay in your lane is like the phrase. That's exactly what we're talking about here.
Sometimes Barry.
The Rolling Stones did a country.
That's exactly what we're talking about here.
Sometimes that didn't go anywhere. The Rolling Stones did a country.
That's exactly what we're talking about here.
That song Wild Horse didn't go anywhere. Was one of the few things on there. The Rolling Stones did a country.
That's exactly what we're talking about here.
That song Wild Horse. An outline that you're just sticking to, you know. And then at that point, it's just, you know, trying to make it seem natural and not red. Yeah, like, you know, Razor Fist.
That's the guy's name.
Yeah, on YouTube. He's awesome. If you don't know who he is, you got to look him up. He's one of the best guys. But there's no way he impromptus those rants he does. You know, no way.
Yeah, that guy. No, I know that guy. Yeah, the guy with the sunglasses, of course.
Yeah, the sunglasses, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way you can improv that.
He makes Alex Jones look tame. He's like a combination of Styx Hammer and Alex Jones together.
You know, I saw him do a 1 hour sit down with Sebastian Gorka.
I bet he was.
And it was shocking.
Yeah,
it was. It was like it was great.
He didn't even drop a single F-bomb.
No, he didn't. He actually said he wanted to get it. You know, he wanted to be in radio when he was growing up. That's what he inspired to do.
I believe it.
I was like, man, I never thought he'd be a good guest till I saw that, and I'm like, oh, he'd be an awesome guest.
Golly, man, the internet is such a great equalizer. It is such an equalizer. I mean, think about it, man. Before the internet, heard, man, they can actually make money. That's like thing I think has the establishment just so pissed off, man, because they want to control everything.
And they grew up with, 3 channels. You had maybe 2 on the UHF, TV span, right? And then you had, ABC, CBS, NBC, those are your 3 choices for the news every night at 6. You know what I mean? Maybe you could go over to like a PBS or something and watch that, but not many people did.
You have the UHF channels, a few, like 43, 25, or whatever they were back in the day. But, you had 7 or 8 channels, man, before cable.
Exactly. And if you went to sleep with the TV on, they played the national anthem at the end of the night, and then it just went to fuzz.
Yeah, and there was supposedly brainwashing subliminals in that.
Right.
No, there's a True Stream Media does a great break of it. And these guys, both those guys, they're married. They used to work at InfoWars. They are very legit with their research. And it does appear like research. It does appear like fades out. It tells you trust government, obey government. It's all this weird stuff that pops up in the lettering. And so people, how much of that does that really get into your subconscious? How toxic Skittles were.
Yeah, I remember that story going around years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah,
The thing about X is everything recirculates. Like I see viral videos a year later, they go reviral again because somebody reposts it. And then, of course, it didn't make everybody's round the first time around. And it's like, but this is old, man. But I guess that's just part of social media.
And why wasn't there warnings on Mentos?
Story going around
You shouldn't drink beer right after it or Coca-Cola. I mean, man, if you want your stomach to explode, my God.
Yeah, you're not supposed to wash it down with a beer.
Yeah.
What about pop? What was those things called?
Pop
People
rocks. Pop
they would
rocks.
drink
Back in the day, man,
rocks,
those were
It'll
awesome.
kill you. If you do that, it'll kill you. If you take a
kill
pop
you.
rock, it'll kill you.
They said it killed Mikey from Life was a big rumor back then, which I
Really?
think turned out to be completely false. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that what happened with that one was he actually died from all of the spraying on the cereal, that they do,
Pesticides.
in the field,
Yep.
pesticides.
He got a lifetime, supply of cereal, and that's what he ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I would.
Yeah, well.
And Life is pretty good. It's not so nasty that it's so sugar laden that you couldn't eat it twice a day. You know what I mean?
All right, fellas, let's head over to the next one. All right.
All right.
right, see you over there. Oh, wrong one.
Okay.
All right. Looking good here?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if Blue just had a really, really bad cramp or something this morning. Like because she threw up right before it happened, and then she went into this fit, and it might have been just like a really bad cramp in her leg or something. You know,
How long did it last?
a few minutes, and then like it took a little while for her to get kind of full, charge back. Maybe, I mean, she's still not fully charged though. That's the thing. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
My
I'm
dog,
not bad.
my dog had seizures all the time, all the time. Didn't
Oh yeah.
kill him or anything like that. I just hold him, when it happened, and pet him and love him. But yeah, and it wasn't like all the time, but and he would just become paralyzed, stiff, and he'd fall over and just be stiff, and I'd pick him up and hold him. But yeah, it's I would imagine it's I mean, I think if you can afford it, you would want to buy the real food for dogs. No, because I think that stuff is, and of course the vaccines. Just be stiff, and not the vaccines for the dogs either.
Yeah. I just,
I would imagine
what I do is I supplement a lot of my food in her diet, if that makes sense. I mean, like I had a steak last night, and I give her a big chunk off the end of it. Well, I'm full. I don't eat a lot. If I make a steak, there's no way I'm going to finish the whole thing. So I take that into account when I buy it too. But she'll get some of it.
Yeah.
All right, 30 seconds, guys.
Chicken, hell, whenever I buy a
If that's the
rotisserie.
case, it doesn't. It's not like.
And here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for June 25, 2025. So, with me tonight, I've got Bullhorn Barry, as usual. How you doing, Barry?
Man, it seems like we were just on the radio like an hour ago.
With the Sunday show?
Yeah,
Yeah, it came up quick, doesn't it?
it did.
Yeah, between Wednesday and Sunday, we've got like more, one more day, and also the weekend, packed in there too. So it always feels like a much more than one more day, between those two shows than this does.
Yep. And this one comes earlier too, during the day.
So let's see. Last time we spoke, war was on everyone's mind. It was Sunday night, and Friday night, Donald Trump ran, what was it called, Operation Midnight or something like that, where they used the big bunker buster bombs to destroy a few nuclear fusion facilities in the state of Iran. And, well, we were at that point, Barry, wondering what's next. Where's this going to go? So how do you feel 3 days later here about where this is going to go?
I'm kind of up in the air about it. I mean, so far so good. Nothing too bad and horrible has happened. So let's just hope and pray it stays that course. There's still plenty of different scenarios that could happen. You got the neocons shouting that there's going to be sleeper cell attacks. That's why we got to go to war with Iran and so forth. But, that can happen anyway. That's regardless. In fact, war with Iran, that might actually trigger them.
Well, let's cross that bridge when we get there. Let's not, finish off Iran so that the sleeper cells don't do anything. I say, because there's a peace process happening right now. We're done. We're washing our hands of it. All we did was run a couple, flights over Iran to drop those bombs, and then they left back in, U.S. airspace so many hours later, and, we're done. We're out. We did our thing. America's out. Israel, on the other hand, last we spoke, was still full, core at war with Iran. Airspace control, the whole 9 yards. So the ceasefire the peace treaty went into effect, and they are now, both in a ceasefire state, right? So it looks like this worked. Trump rattled the cage hard enough that they said, "Oh God, all right, yeah, that sucks. They just set us back, how many years?" Now CNN will tell you we only set them back a couple of weeks. Right. That's this big scandal going on right now that the White House adamantly denies. That CNN is going out there and saying that really, this was a nothing burger. It only set them back a few weeks, and total waste of time. Not impressed. Total failure. But when they say that, they're saying that the military members involved don't know what they're doing. That they just kind of went in there and called it a success without any ability to confirm that, without any knowledge of what those bombs are capable of that they dropped. We saw those holes in the ground. They're massive,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so it seems to me like the White House is probably right on this. They're adamant, Israel's adamant that the facilities there are set back at least a few years. It'll take them at least a few years to get to where they were. And let's face it, they still got air control. So if they start getting backhoes out there and start trying to dig their way into those facilities, boom, you just bomb it back shut, Like, it's going to be pretty obvious from satellite if they're trying to repair those facilities and get in there and start them back up again. And you just don't let that happen.
Yeah, my concern is that Trump wants peace more than anybody else does. And I think even Bernie Sanders supposedly admitted that on the Joe Rogan show, is that MAGA and Trump is anti-war. And we see this with Zelensky, supposedly making deals and then not making deals. And then Trump was not happy with Israel when they went to bombing right before the ceasefire started. And he used some very firm and creative language.
Colorful language.
Yeah, that I can't repeat on the air. So I want to see these players be as passionate about peace as he is. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And why not? Why not, folks? Why not just get on board the peace train? As Cat Stevens once said, come on aboard.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, what's to prevent these people from just saying, okay, you know what, let's just all live together and not, kill each other. Like, that's what it's supposed to be like. Like the 50 states in America, there's no animosity between them. I've never heard of Ohio wanting to, well, I won't mention Ohio. Ohio has a checkered history invading Michigan, but you get my point. It's possible to go out there and live in peace with your neighbors, folks. And all it takes is for you to just want it. You just have to put people in power that simply don't want war. They don't want to see their people go and die. How hard is that?
That Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson song, Ebony and Ivory, Live Together. Mm-hmm. That's what's coming to my mind. I'm like singing that song, man. Or We Are the World, song. We need an anthem song right now.
Yeah, for peace. Bring peace in the Middle East. The Abraham Accords.
John Lennon had some peace songs, I think. I don't know. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was always that hippy-dippy peace kind of stuff. So anyway, though, I think the direction of the war is going, pretty good. It seems like it's ceasefire status as we stand here today, and there's no one dying at the moment. Iran had no response whatsoever. They launched a couple volleyballs, basically, over at, Qatar. And they were shot out of the sky, no problem. No one was hurt. No one was harmed. And really, that's it. That's their only response so far. Now, if they unleash sleeper cells in America, all bets are off. If they start going after the infrastructure and all that kind of stuff, all bets are off. But why wouldn't they have done it by now? And maybe they're waiting
why doesn't
for the 4th of July.
Why doesn't the left want to deport some of these people when they themselves have admitted that there are Iranian terrorist cells in America? Don't we want to get those people out too? I mean, why are they fighting us? Do they want the chaos? Do they want the murder, mayhem, and destruction?
Because they vote for the left and they have more kids than we do.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I mean,
well, they just voted that communist in as the mayor. He won the primary,
Yes. And let's get to that story, because this one is just a joke. Zoran Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani
Sounds
is
like
going
he's
to be.
different planet.
It kind of does. It is sort of a sci-fi name. Zoran Mamdani won the primary for the mayoral seat to the city of New York. So New York City has a open socialist, Muslim, quite straight up anti-Semite that is going to be very likely running the city again. Eric Adams is running again as an independent, but who are Republicans going to put up? I don't know. Cuomo might come in as an independent as well. But, New York has this crazy ranked choice voting that I literally, fourth choice, whatever. And if you voted for the guy who gets the least votes, then your second choice is where your vote then goes to in the next round of counting. And so on and so forth until someone gets a majority. Whatever happened to just voting? Whatever happened to the system where you put, a vote down, that's your vote, and you move on. I don't want 5 votes.
It's gotta be complicated. It can't be simple.
Well, what it does is, if you think about it from the left perspective, is the people that are out there, the green parties and whatnot, right? So if they have a lot of those that are getting in the way, then once their candidate vote gets tossed out, then their second vote's going to be for a Democrat. You follow me? So it oftentimes is going to benefit them to have, all those different parties down ticket.
Okay, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it makes no sense. It's one person, one vote, one count. That's it. Anything to confuse it beyond that is just like stupid.
Yeah, it's shenanigans, man. They're good at
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, precisely. No, this really wasn't the case here with this guy, though. He won. He got like 46% to 34%. Okay, so he really ran away with this thing. New York, he wants to implement state-run grocery stores because he thinks that the grocery stores are out there price gouging on everything. The average profit margin for a grocery store is 1%. When you go there and spend $100, the grocery store makes about $1. Okay? And think of all the money tied up into that place, all the real estate, all the air conditioning, the lights, the employees, all that stuff. They're making about $1. And he's going to come in there and pay everyone double, give them all living wages or whatever you call it. So they're all making $40 an hour. That place is going to be twice as expensive as the regular grocery store that they put out of business to be there. And by the way, what is that? That's socialism in action, folks. That is what socialism is. It is the government running private businesses like grocery stores, food distribution, if you will.
Well, it's surprising. Kamala wanted to do something quite similar. Remember that during the campaign?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, this is anyone who's a socialist wants to do these types of things, right? So he wants rent control, which sounds great on paper. They can't raise your rent. Okay, I'll vote for that. Well, they can't raise your rent. How many tenants are there to every landlord in New York? You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. They're pitting them against each other because the landlord understands that he's just going to have to sell the building or do something, figure out a way to keep rents down because he can never raise the rent. You want to have your air conditioning fixed? Sorry, I can't raise the rent. Live with it. It's not in the budget.
Mm. I'm stuck from leases I signed 10 years ago. So yeah. It goes on and on and on. This guy has he wants really fast buses that are free. Okay. Fast buses that are free.
You want to have some,
right.
Really fast ones.
Mm.
That have you seen New York traffic?
Yeah.
In Manhattan. I mean,
oh yeah.
You don't even have to have been to Manhattan to understand that Manhattan is bumper to bumper from one end to the other. What are you going to make? More bus lanes?
It's not even pleasant for the people on their bicycles, man. It's dangerous no matter what kind of, transportation you're using.
Oh, yeah. No, it's even walking, man. You step out in the street in the wrong time and there's a cab going 50 miles an hour right at your your knees. So yeah, it'll take you out, and that's it. Life, is over. And you know what? That city won't skip a beat. You'll be splattered all over the street, and it won't even notice you. Some guy will clean it up a day later, and people just step over your corpse for the time being.
Yeah, I don't think New York City is going to ever make a comeback at this point. I've talked about that and said they may fall and never rise again. And what I mean by that, never rise to the level of greatness that they were at one time. And I think that's sad, but on the trajectory that they're on right now, I mean, they're not doing anything to make, course corrections.
Yeah. And, it's happened to so many cities across the country. I mean, there's a number of big cities out there. Detroit was one of the biggest cities in the country for a while when Henry Ford and the auto industry was just in its, heyday. And it literally was just a beautiful thrive, and then it just went into straight up decline to the point where there was nothing left. Cleveland, I think, had a similar experience. A lot of Midwestern cities. Look at Flint, Michigan as well. I could go on and on. There's cities like that all over the country that were once really brilliant in their day, but today they just they don't really exist. You know what I mean? Yeah. Flint, Michigan, if you ever drove through there, there's nothing there.
Well, the global industrialization didn't help any, right? Them trying to deindustrialize the United States of America and make us more a service and tech nation, just it's not faring well because we're hardworking, man.
Yeah. So you put a straight up socialist into the mayor's seat in New York. And I mean, this guy really, he's very much, a river to the sea kind of guy, from the river to the sea, pro-Palestine 100% of the way, divest, from Israel, the BDS movement, to completely divest any financial relationship with the state of Israel. He'll do that. And I mention all this because New York City is the second largest city in the world for Jews. I think, if I'm not mistaken, more Jews live in New York City than live in Tehran or Jerusalem, but not Israel. You follow me? So huge population of Jews in New York. Like a third plus of the entire population of Jews. And they're putting out calls now to leave. Pack it up, leave, let's get out of here. Florida's looking better and better every day. So expect another massive exodus from the city of New York. And then another one, and another one, and another one. This guy's going to do every crazy thing you could ever think. It's just, it's shocking.
I don't even think the people that voted for him necessarily even liked him. They just had such disdain for Cuomo. Because I listened to some of the interviews when they interviewed who you voted for, and they said they voted for Zeron or whatever that guy's name is. And he's like, well, he's a socialist, man. I mean, do you think socialism is going to solve the problems? They're like, no, but, he doesn't hasn't been caught sexually assaulting anybody or, as we all know, killing however many people in the nursing homes. Right. Yeah. And so he's kind of, seen as a shady, unscrupulous character, Cuomo. So they could have put out maybe Donald Duck, and Donald Duck might have won. So I don't know if he's really well liked or if they just felt like there wasn't a better option.
Well, I'll tell you, they're stuck with him, and that's the beautiful thing about it is the world and this, everyone on this show is going to be watching on with a little bit of Schadenfreude, is it? The German word for, when you take pleasure in your opponent's miseries.
Okay.
Because New York is just going to suffer because of this. If all these things get put in place, it's going to be far, far worse in 4 years from now than it is today. And that says something, man.
I think that some people have to learn the hard way, man. And maybe that's the only way New York City can learn is the hard way, right? They're going to have to maybe basically hit rock bottom before they go, wait a minute, man, maybe we've done this all wrong. I don't know. I hope that's not the case because, I mean, they're an American city, dude. I love America.
Yeah.
Well, they're Democrat. I don't care. I love America.
Yeah. And I mean, the quintessential American city. You know what I mean? You go to Los Angeles, the second biggest city, and it's a strip mall. You know what I mean? It's got a couple high rises surrounded by just endless strip malls in every direction. Right. It's not very city-like. It's very suburban. Whereas New York is just, it hits you in the face, man. Times Square, you get a hotel room anywhere in the city of New York, and it's just alive, man. Living in big cities like that, it's just the whole place has a pulse all the time, and you just, I don't know, it's so much energy. At 4 a.m, you get up and you don't need a light, you don't need anything. You just walk outside, everything's lit up, and it's like, might as well be daytime,
I've heard the sunsets are just beautiful that come down between the buildings and the street like that. And, just
in New
absolutely
York.
marvelous. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen some pictures of it. It's wonderful, man. It's, I could see where it's breathtaking.
I could see, like, in the summer solstice, it might line up, or there'd be a certain point of the year when it would line up right perfectly with the way the streets go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool to see. But yeah, it is what it is, man. New York is just, it could come back for sure. It probably will. It's New York. It's resilient. It's the Big Apple. It's, everything it is. But man, this isn't the way to go about it, man. I don't see anyone else winning other than this guy. And man, good luck with that, Big Apple. Good luck with that. So, you want to talk about another place that's going downhill?
Sure. Let's bring it, man. In America,
France.
I was gonna say,
France isn't France anymore.
to another country. I was thinking maybe Canada, though.
No, we're going to France. France isn't France anymore, It's not even France. I don't know what it is. Let's see. They detained 12 suspects after 145 people were reported being pricked with syringes during the Fête de la Musique, which is a annual music festival or celebration that goes around the country. It's celebrated simultaneously all around throughout the country, and it just turned into absolute carnage this year. Carnage in the streets, I say. 371 arrests, 1,500 injuries were made during the 2-day festival, and I want to say that that's just one city in Paris. Yep. Yeah, it goes on and on, folks. Utter chaos in the streets. People now, the new thing is they're running around with date rape drug in a syringe, and they're just trying to go up behind women and inject them with it so they can cart them off through the chaos into some alley and have, their way.
It's disgusting.
People fighting, like this French dude, old French, not old, but, a French guy versus a new French guy. And the French dude is running full speed through this, I don't know, some sort of a bus stop or something. And he's got about 3 or 4 dudes that are on him trying to kill him.
Is that the difference between young and old? New and...
No, well, they call them the new citizens, the new French. They don't look like the old French. But
I was just trying to get clarification.
Yeah, it was a little confusing the way I was explaining it, but I kind of presupposed everyone understood the concept. Full speed through this. The new British people. I don't know, some sort of a bus stop. Typically straight out of Somalia and, don't speak a lick of French, but they're French. But anyway, total carnage in the streets. I got video after video after video of just one scene after another of them trashing cars, throwing garbage into subways, chasing people around, fighting. And it's not a place where you'd want to be outside during that type of a scene. You would not want to be anywhere near one of these festivals when they're going off in France. So, Yeah.
And you have to ask yourself, what is this going to do for tourism in France? How many people are going to want to go and visit if something crazy might happen at any given moment, at any place or any time or anywhere?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not appealing to me to go there at all, but it never really was. Even when Europe doesn't really interest me, I'd rather go to some tropical beach somewhere than some old museum or castle. Really, I'm not the kind of guy to get all excited about touring a castle. But to each their own. I said it last week after there were some riots that happened after a soccer game, of the same, look and feel, same kind of people, that France just can't have nice things anymore. And it's just the way it is.
You did say that.
Yeah. They just can't have it. There was and for what? right? For what? They're saying, you know, the economy, these are our doctors and lawyers of the future, you know? With a straight face.
Yeah. Well, let me bring up something. You know, what is it that we've said over and over and over again about the chaos that they actually want to happen? It means you have less and less and less, because that's the globalist leftist policy and agenda, right? They don't want you to eat real food. They want you to eat the bugs. They don't want you to own anything. They want you to eat the lab meat. They want you to, you know, not be able to have a concert. They want you not, you know what I'm saying? It's all about taking away from you. And we need to remind people and hammer that through people's heads, because that's where all of this goes. Every single bit of it will go that direction every single time, unless it's nipped in the bud. Yeah.
Sorry, I broke up there. I don't know what happened. It just dropped me for a second. I just hit the button, came right back in. But yeah, no, okay. So a new study, immigration is costing France 3.4% of its GDP. Okay, so it is not good for the economy. They keep saying it is, and I'm seeing a picture here of, you know, the river. You know, of course, refugees. It's costing 3.4% of their GDP.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Well, remember when they told us, all the Americans, that NAFTA was going to be great for America? Turned out it wasn't so. We've lost, as Trump has said, 90,000 factories and plants because of NAFTA. And he's bringing it back, man. And he's going to make America great again. We're not going to just roll over and submit to a bunch of tyrants. Man, we're going to make America great again. It may take, you know, the full 4 years, but it's going to happen.
Oh, I'm not arguing with that. I think we are definitely on the way towards making this country just fabulous again. To putting it on the right track is what we mean by make it great again. Joe Biden had us an inflation country, you know, war on free speech, you name it. No, on the right track, folks. We'll talk more about that right track and what it looks like when we come back from break.
All right, guys, we're on radio break.
Sounds good.
The Great Conspiracy says all they do is push lies and fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it, too. How long has this been going on now? I mean, you know, at this level that we're at, it's been, you know, a decade, maybe more, right? Where they've just been doing this thing. And it's just this horrible, like, feedback loop, right? Because if you don't jump out of it, I mean, it's like a hamster on a wheel. You know, unless the hamster jumps off, he's stuck, you know, or he stops, right? As long as he's moving, it's just like it's a feedback loop that never ends. And it's horrible, man. I feel sorry for these people that are trapped in that. And what's so amazing is that people not everybody has figured it out yet. Doesn't that blow your mind? People haven't figured out what's happening. They can't even see it, right? Even though it's right in front of them, what's happening.
Yeah, right. It kind of is amazing that people are just so blind to it.
I don't get it, man. You know, I was talking about, you know, people, you know, thinking for themselves when it comes to Trump, and somebody, and I wasn't mad at the person at all, because I feel for him, because he's never critically thought for himself in a long time, or maybe never. He's like, well, what's the alternative to, you know, what else can we do besides blindly trust him? And that's what we have to do. And I was like, and then I just gave him a really nice, you know, honest answer, you know, about how, and we have to hold his feet to the fire, and you know, there's different ideas, and that's what discourse is about. The best ideas rise to the top, and how we've influenced Trump to, he's changed his positions based on, you know, our rhetoric, on us speaking out and us speaking up. And so, yeah, for, you know, MAGA said, if you don't support what we're doing in Iran, you're not MAGA. I think that is a wrong mentality, man. You know, even if I agree or disagree with it, it's, you know, dude, we're supposed to be united, and you can have different opinions and still be united.
Well, and that debate needs to happen, because it is a real important debate to have. I mean, should we be bombing this facility? Yes or no, right? I mean, should we bomb more of it? Yes or no? I don't think so, but other people, you know, may think so. And if they can make a hell of a case, then, you know, suddenly everyone opens up and says, oh, wow, I'd never thought about it from that perspective, and we can change our minds. But to just blindly say, yeah, you're not MAGA if you don't go along completely,
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then poor Tucker Carlson, man. I mean, he just spoke his mind. People just attacked him and said he's not MAG, and then they were bringing out old texts that he had made where he was bashing Trump, which is totally unfair. I don't think that's what he thinks today. He said many times over that he actually likes Trump and thinks that he's charming and all of that, and he likes hanging around him, and they did hang around with each other for quite a while. And it's just like all that's doing is dividing us and then turning us into a cult, to where whatever Trump says, right, like we just stop speaking and we stop having a voice and just say, it's all on you, Trump. Just, we trust you. Do whatever. I don't think so, man, because he's still surrounded around some shady characters.
Yeah.
And the main concern, a lot of the people were not against the strikes of the facilities. They were against what might come out of that. That's what the debate was really about. And most of these people, they would go, oh, you're a mullah lover. Everybody I listened to that was kind of on the opposite side of that narrative, they didn't like the mullahs. I mean, they just make stuff up to divide. Laura Loomer, for number one, man, she's obnoxious, dude. I don't trust her at all.
Yeah, she's very obnoxious. Candace Owens, too, went on quite a rant the other day.
30 seconds, guys.
Yeah, well, she's kind of out there, but I think she means well, at least that much, I didn't hear the rant, though. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah, she was talking about how this is World War III and it's the beginning of it, and, it's just only going to escalate. And, I mean, right now...
Okay, and here is your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you're live right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition. Hanging out with Bullhorn Barry tonight. How you doing, Barry?
Man, doing good. Just trying to maintain the peace during crazy times, right?
Oh, yeah. Maintain the sanity, too. A lot of people are getting really worked up over a lot of things lately, They get really worked up, and they take this stuff to extreme levels because they believe some of the worst lies out there about what's going on in the world, the propaganda that comes out of the mainstream media, among others, but even like the stuff that comes out of Al Jazeera nowadays, or when the Palestinian Authority releases numbers on casualties, they just go right to their website and lick it up, lap it up. Oh my God, look at the travesty. Lies, right? Folks, global warming, man. They just released some study the other day that shows that we're like in one of the coolest sections the Earth has seen in thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands, that we're in this major cooling cycle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Over gigantic time frames. We're actually like, what's the correct temperature of the planet? Mr. Biden, come on, Kamala Harris, you want to run for president? What's the correct temperature the planet should be? And we'll pay a tax until you get it there, okay?
It's correct. I mean, I think that's why they changed it from global warming to climate change, because the global narrative wasn't really working out as they had planned. So, we'll just change it to climate change, and then any climate changes that are bad will be part of the global warming problem.
Exactly. Big tornado, climate change. Big hurricane, climate change. Earthquake, climate change. Fire, climate change.
Yeah. I mean, and then they think it's the number one threat, right? That and white supremacy. Those are the two major threats to the Democrat Party.
Yeah. Then you notice the one thing they have in common is that there's really no way to ever say that you fixed it.
Of course. Yeah, it's the ultimate, scare tactic.
Well, there's never a place where they'll say, okay, white supremacy is really not an issue anymore. We can move on. You're no longer Hitler. We just disagree with you. You know what I mean? That can never reach that point because there's always going to be some little story here, some little something they can pick up on in Tennessee or God knows where that is racism. Okay, there it is. You showed me an example of it. there's always going to be wage discrepancies. There's always going to be educational discrepancies in certain categories, you know? And I say that both ways, right? Like, look at Chinese and Japanese, Asians in general. They, you know, they're rocking the school system. The Indians are making more money than I think any other, you know, immigrant population in the United States, you know.
Yeah, it's middle class. Yeah.
Yeah, they average like 91,000 a year or something. It's crazy, you know? That's average. So, you know, when they say thank you, come again, they're raking the bank in behind the scene.
That's malinformation, and that's a hate fact. So you better back it up, man.
Yeah, you get it though. It's all about how you take care of your own. That, you know, how well you can kind of group up with your own people of whatever color they are, and just get along and get on and get things done and make money and figure it out. Figure out life hacks, you know, and share them and, you know, help everybody exploit them. And that be healthy in America, you know. So I don't know. It's racism will never ever go away. I thought, you know, growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was like mostly kind of a thing of the past. You know what I mean? Everybody you looked at on MTV was black. I mean, Michael Jackson, on and on and on. We kind of got past all that. Boy George, heck, the biggest rock band in the world was Queen, with Freddie Mercury at the helm, you know?
Well, the left is notorious for resurrecting the past and bringing back hurt feelings and putting a chip on people's shoulder, because that's what they're trying to do, because their end game is division, because they don't want us ever coming together so that America could be made great. They don't want America great because that means that the people would be prospering and they can't have their little empire of dirt where they control and manage everything. It's really quite simple, folks. Very simple.
Yeah, it really is. It's pretty simple, but you know, simple doesn't really work in politics because you all got to take opposite sides on every single issue. It's like, it's rare that you ever see them agree on anything. You know what I mean? Whereas people are never like that black and white. You got Republicans and Democrats, and they just are straight down the line. Everything, every item is one way or the other. There's never any like agreement, it seems, that, hey, maybe we should like not spend way more money than we have. Yeah, we're passing down, you know, crazy amounts of debt to our children and our grandchildren. That's not good. Will they even have a country if they're 50, 60 trillion in debt?
Yeah, I mean, I think every now and then you get that outlier that's, you know, I just want to do well for the state that I represent. And if that means siding with the Republicans, then it means siding with the Republicans. If that means siding with the Democrats, it means siding with the Democrats. And there are people like that. They're just rare, because once you go into that system, it is designed to compromise you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you know, fortunately, I think we do, you know, have our disagreements with Trump. I think what he did, like, came up in the news again today, was the coin, the stable, whatever kind of coin he made. Bad idea. The crypto coin, bad idea, Trump. I don't know what you're doing with the cryptocurrency. It's like really a bad idea.
I haven't followed it. I know it kind of boomed right off on the onset, but I don't know where it's at now. Do you know how it's doing now?
No, but I can bet you money that its ultimate price is going to be zero.
Well, that wouldn't be good.
I mean, ultimately, it may take years to get there, but it ultimately, when Trump is long gone and his memory and whatever, and somebody looks at that coin in their wallet and they're like, what is this thing? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Huh. Do I really want it anymore? It's the year 2060. I mean, do I really want this thing?
If Trump's face is on Mount Rushmore, it might be worth a lot.
Yeah, they'll make it the new penny.
Just say that to trigger the liberals that are listening, man. But yeah, I'd like to see him up there. I would like to see him do such a great job they put him up on Mount Rushmore.
I would too. I mean, that'd be great. And like everyone agrees too. It's like a 90% vote thing. You know, like you gotta put it on the ballot nationwide, 90% plus, and you get somebody to go up there. Short of that, like you don't really just get to be put up on Mount Rushmore. You know.
Right.
Yeah, it's got to be like absolute unanimous. Everybody agrees, and they got to be long dead too.
I'm surprised the liberals haven't like wanted to take a few of those people down, because they have the patriarchy, right? I'm surprised it didn't demand we must take Mount Rushmore down and we must put up, I don't know, some other people.
hmm who's up there? You
Floyd
got
up there.
Lincoln, what, Jefferson? Jefferson was a slave owner, right? So get him off of there.
I'm
FDR.
surprised they haven't demanded it, because they're just so easily triggered by everything.
hmm Exactly. Yeah, they'll come around. They'll hate it. Again, you read Orwell, and he talks about how they had to go back and remove everything beautiful from the museums and from art and everything, and replace it all with drab, you know, cubic, modernistic nothingness, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, as they take down the statues, that's just going to be one of the last statues they really go for, or maybe it gets fired up and becomes one of the earlier ones they go to take down.
It kind of reminds me, and this is not exactly the same, but it just reminds me of it, is the cubicle in the corporate job.
Mm.
I mean, I had a corporate job and had a cubicle, and it was the most mind-numbing, just spiritually destroying thing possible. I quit very soon after, man. It was awful. I mean, I just can't even imagine having a cubicle job at this time. It just would be horrible.
Yeah, I had one of those, but they called it a bullpen.
Well, that sounds even worse. I like cubicle better.
Yeah. So it's it's an interesting life, but yeah, you got to kind of plow through it. You got to love what you're doing if you're going to be in an office all day. You really got to enjoy it.
Well, I just wonder if they developed that for the same type of reason, I guess was my point, to sort of just get you to where you're just almost like zombified and you're numb and then you're easily controllable. And when I worked, oh man, I mean, it was like the surveillance was insane. You had to, scan an RFID card when you came in. You had to log into your computer. Then you had to log into your phone. And then if you left to go to the bathroom, you had to log out of your computer because they wanted to track everything that you did. It was insane. And then if you were like 1 or 2 minutes late when you came in from lunch, 3 of those and you were fired. It's just like this horrible, hostile environment.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen those types of places. I remember working in California, and we shared a building with like Sony, and they had a game division in there. And so I met a bunch of programmers. You'd be down having lunch or whatever, and guy next to you'd be a programmer, so you'd get talking to him about, you make games? Oh, that's so cool. And he was like, man, it's the worst job in the world. They pay nothing, long hours, on and on and on, just the worst job in the world. I felt for him every day, man. He never once did I look at him and at lunchtime and say, how's your day going? And he was like, oh, it's going great. So he's like, man, I hate my job.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's go back. I've got a clip I want to play from Erin Burnett. This is her 5 days ago on June 19th and her on June 2024. I'm sorry, 2025. So June 19th versus June 24th, talking about Iran's nuclear capabilities. So 5 days ago, she basically says they're years away from a weapon. And, Trump's doing this for no reason. Then today, she's saying it's only been set back a few months. Watch this.
This timeline of Iran being a few weeks away from a nuclear bomb is in direct contradiction to CNN's reporting. According to U.S. intelligence assessments, Iran is 3 years away from being able to produce a nuclear weapon if they wanted to. So the facts on Iran getting a nuclear weapon do not bear out the claim at the heart of what has put the world on the verge of world war. It only set back the Iranian nuclear program by months. We got to call it like it is. It's a big deal.
So that last part there, they only set him back a few months, right? They're years away from we'd only set him back a few months. What changed? Well, she said it was according to CNN's reporting, that they're 3 years out. Well, that's the problem. CNN's reporting is fake. It's fake news, folks. It's fake. 100%. Yeah, it's all crap. They make it up. It's the Democratic Party's talking points. Whatever comes out of the DNC is what CNN reports. They just run lockstep on everything. That's it. Same with MSNBC, same with all of them, man. It's shocking, just shocking how much tune they are with what the left wants in America. They completely are bought and paid for and owned. Here's another great clip, though, and the reason I wanted to bring up this thread here. This is her talking about them chanting "Death to America," right? As they often do, "Death to America."
But the question is whether or not the calm can remain when the regime that is still there, who wants death to America, death to Israel, stays in place. And that is part of the discussion, right? Yes, absolutely part of the discussion. And, I remember, Dan, at one point being in Tehran years ago, and they're chanting death to America all around me, even as I say, oh, I'm an American reporting for CNN, and they were happy to speak to me. So that those two sort of jarring realities of the chant and yet the friendliness have existed together.
What's the point? What is she trying to say?
That they were really nice. They
I
want
know.
death to America, but they were really nice about it.
It just seems ridiculous, dude. I mean, it's double talk. Like obviously people see that. I hope, like we were talking, in between the break about how people see the obvious. Don't people see that? I mean, even Democrats, they go, oh, she messed up by saying that. That's bad. I mean, yeah.
How do you not see it's like friendly, mostly peaceful riots,
It's along the same lines.
Yeah, it's burning down, but it's a peaceful sort of burning and looting of the city.
Yeah, the whole city's burnt down, but 90% of the protesters were peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind-numbing.
It's hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch it in real time. It just makes no sense.
And that's part of the whole mind scramble, is just a mind scramble.
Yeah.
Make you be like, what? I mean, I think they're not, maybe they just don't want to make sense so that, you can't really criticize it. It's like, well, I can't really criticize it because I don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah, when somebody tells you what they want or what they are, believe them, right? So if they're out there saying death to America, well, they just mean the government, not the people. We love the people.
Holding machetes and, rifles and weapons and knives and shouting. I mean, yeah, that's a pretty good sign.
But then you ask them about Israel, death to Israel, and they'll say, well, yeah, that's a little different. Definitely get them out of there. They can't stay there. They all have to go back to where they came from, is what I hear a lot of. And where exactly is that? Ultimately, it came from Jerusalem. I mean, how many times is Israel mentioned in the Bible?
I don't know. Tell me.
I don't know, 500 or something?
I don't know. Probably a lot, though. I mean, especially the Old Testament.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the whole, story of the Exodus and all that. It's, for 40 years in the desert to find the Holy Land, the Promised Land, Israel.
Right.
I mean, you're going back pretty far when you got to go into the Old Testament to pull up proof that, hey, they have some stake on the land there.
And if you think about it, the whole world is basically in an exodus, trying to exit out of all the madness, the tyranny, the oppression. That's what America's having more success at than most other countries, because we're really focused on getting out of the control of the globalist and the far left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, I just hope we make it through this. I think we will. I think, that's not going to escalate. Again, we would have seen, I think, something by now if there were, quote unquote, sleeper cells out here ready to, pounce into action. Maybe they're waiting for the 4th of July. So folks, stock up on supplies before the 4th. Don't go rushing down in the middle of the hornet's nest when they have no power at the grocery store.
And doesn't it seem like Trump, maybe looks like it's going to go bad for him, and then somehow it all just turns out right? And I don't want to say, but, it's a win, right? And I think that is the greatest threat to the Democrat talking points is Trump's success. All the stuff they said for the first 5 months about, the inflation, the prices, and all the different things, those all got resolved. They had a list of 5 or 6 things that they just kept hammering. Look what Trump has done. He's made all these things worse. Gas prices are higher. Everything's, and then all of that got reversed very quickly. And so they had to move on to a new thing, right? But by that time, Trump's moving into, taking care of other business, and then they just go and attack it. But it seems like every single time, or at least most of the time, he's having success. And that's like,
Yeah.
how do you fight that? How do you fight success?
And he did it for 4 years and the world didn't fall apart. It was actually, a really good 4-year term. His first 4 years were fantastic for the country up until COVID.
Exactly.
And we all know what that was about.
100%.
It was
It was
one of
to
the biggest
stop
scams
from growing and just, exploding and ending, as the globalists said, the death blow to the New World Order. That's their actual quote.
Yeah. Oh, it was, him winning in 2016 set back the New World Order. Well, I can tell you, it set him back exactly 9 years because they changed their Agenda 21 to Agenda 2030.
Exactly.
So they literally pushed it back 9 years. So his 4-year term set them back 9 years. His second term, they don't even have an Agenda 2030 anymore. They don't even have it. It's out the window. It's garbage. It's never going to see the light of day. If anything, they'll bring it back as Agenda 2050 now, 2055. I mean, it depends how things go here. If New York City falls apart the way they're on trajectory to, holy cow.
Well, remember before Trump stepped into the Oval Office and he got elected in 2024, there was all the globalist meetings that were happening around the world, and they were all talking about how, man, they were depressed and it was bad for the New World Order and it was going to really hurt them and maybe destroy their movement. And, man, looks like he's having some success in that, getting us out of the UN and all the stuff, the climate treaties, all the nonsense. And he needs to disconnect maybe even from NATO, because if NATO doesn't have our...
Well, we've talked about that before with J.D. Vance's speech in Germany that he gave a while back, where he said, look, man, we don't have shared values anymore. To Germany, he went to Germany and said, we don't share the same values anymore. You're locking people up for free speech. You're doing all kinds of things that just, it's not a country that we are sharing an alliance with of core traditional human values. So why would we be part of NATO to defend something like that? England, I could say the same thing. Canada, man, you really want us to defend you and your borders while you're turning into like the worst country on the planet?
They're doing some pretty bad things, man. And you have to ask yourself, what does light have to do with darkness? What does good have to do with evil? How can you align yourself with pure evil, like cutting off kids' genitals and stuff like that? That's pure evil. You cannot align with that. There is no compromising in that situation. You have to say no to that. I just read an article the other day talking about how, even though Trump made that illegal, that there may be doctors in American hospitals that are still doing the surgery.
That wouldn't surprise me at all, that they just... Yeah, why not?
Defy him, right?
Yeah,
just defiance, right?
Yeah, if you're like in UC Berkeley or something, you've set your own rules when it comes to life and death things like, you're saving this man's kid's life by giving them gender-affirming care, right? That's the way they sell it to themselves.
Yeah, they always have some nice, sweet word for something so dark and evil and ominous.
Yeah, it's like you're going to change that kid's suicide potential rate from 35%, give him the surgery, and now it goes to, 34.8. You're not suddenly going to fix the kid's brain. You're just cutting off his junk.
Well, everybody quickly forgets that there are studies that have come out that show that most children that have gender dysphoria, it's like 80+% outgrow it. But you don't outgrow it if they start doing chemical castration and transitioning you. And then after that happens, if they, cut it off and they go the full route, that person will never experience, sex. Never.
Yeah.
They'll never experience it ever.
Family.
And they won't even know what they're missing, right?
Exactly. The whole family thing is just out the window,
Yep. No family, no kids, no
because
intimacy. You're never going to have that intimacy like, with another person because you can't experience that like God made it.
And some grown-up had to convince that kid that it was the right thing to do, right? And that's the thing. That's when you talk about 80% of the people going back, it's because, they kind of got sold that bill of goods for a little bit, and then they lived it for a while and said, this really isn't me.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, you kind of sold them enough to have them put on a dress and walk around and call them Nancy for a year or two. But like you say, they grow out of it. It's
I think one of
it's
the
just
things I've seen and horrifying things I've seen is, people that have gone through the whole process and then they have transgender regret. It's so brutal, man. There's documentaries out there. I encourage everybody to go out there and find them. You can probably find them on like Rumble and BitChute and maybe even YouTube if they haven't censored it. But, just type in transgender regret. There's actual documentaries on these people that have, and it's just so brutal to see them in such utter pain for having made that wrong decision.
Matt Walsh in What Is a Woman? Didn't he feature someone like that who went through sort of the day-to-day process of what it takes to maintain yourself when you have a plastigini? I don't know what they call it.
I saw the movie, but I don't remember that. But it's been a while.
Okay, might have been something I saw around the same time or something along those lines. But yeah, it's out there. Those videos, like you say, they're out there. You can easily find them, and they cover just what we're talking about here. How there's some people that definitely are going to have regrets, and that's like anything. You buy a car. Some people regret the car they buy. Fortunately, you can just sell it and buy a new one.
Some things are irreversible.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry about that. My poor dog is asking me for help here. Oh, she had a rough day today, folks. I won't get into it on the radio, but needless to say, my poor little puppy, oh, I love her so much. Little Blue. But on that note, folks, this is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition. We are on every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific. We're also on every Sunday night at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, which, of course, is 6 o'clock Pacific. So make sure to check us out there. Barry, where can they find you online?
Find me on X, Bullhorn Barry.
All right. Bullhorn Barry over on X. And with that, folks, that's the end of the first hour. We've got a whole nother hour coming right after this. We'll see you right after the break.
All right, we're on radio break.
Oh, while I said that, Blue just jumped up in here like no problem. That's good to see.
Yeah, that is, man.
That's really good to see. She couldn't have done that this morning.
Well, like, I'm not saying that your dog had a seizure, but when my dog would have one, he would be tired until the next day, pretty much. Just didn't want to do much thing. And they lasted a couple minutes, and then he just would just rest. But yeah, it wasn't anything that took away his vitality.
The vision of her just banging her face on the concrete, though, over and over, it's gonna stick with me for a long time. It was rough to see.
I know. It was heartbreaking for me too. That's why I said I'd always just grab him and hold him and just tell him I love him and stuff. And yeah. At first, I thought she got caught up on something under the rig, and like her leash got wound way too tight around her, and it was like really hurting her, And I know how to deal with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this kind of just took you off guard a little bit. Yeah, it was just a pure. I don't know, man. I don't know.
When she came in, Zeus came up to check too. He came in here to check.
Zeus is a good boy.
He is. He's such a good boy.
And Blue is a good girl.
Yes,
She's
she
a girl.
is. And while we're at it, we might as well start giving some shout outs. In D Live, we got DK Conspiracy over there with us tonight, as well as Horatio, and we have Roger Hansen over there, as well as he's taking and restreaming out to all the other platforms. Groovy Monkey is in there too in D Live. We have over on Kick Chat, we got Somos Trees, got Great Conspiracy, who's also restreaming. Thanks, guys. and Cross D32, and Roger's over there. King and Queen Bush Camp in the Kick Chat as well. We've got Veterans Radio always with us, and Bird Chocolate. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks, guys and gals, wherever you may be. Or and Linda Porter over in Facebook chat. So
Linda Porter.
Yeah. So we got some folks listening and in here wanting to hear more from you guys and what we have tonight.
Good. It's quite a lineup, Mark.
And I'm wondering, we got some folks over in Rumble chat, but they're not talking. I'm thinking that Yotivation's in there just listening. And maybe Sonya, too. All right. Well, we'll pick it up on the next one. So hold on here. Let me switch us over to the next group. Let me get this going again. Looks like, hold on, folks. Let me get our connection back up. Uh-oh, couldn't find the connection. What? Oh, well. I'm going to take us back to Wednesday 1 and see if we can get connected back up there again. Hey, it wouldn't let me connect to Wednesday 2 for some reason, but we'll figure it out. Hopefully Barry will get back over here.
I gotta mute for a second.
Huh?
I gotta mute. I gotta mute for a second. I'll be right back.
Sounds good. There you are, Barry.
What happened?
I
man?
don't know. For some reason, it wouldn't let me log into the or start the other.
We
the
can
other
just
group
start
chat for some reason.
We can just start all over in the first session as well.
Yeah. It just restarted our timer, so that's fine.
Oh, okay.
I guess if you let it go a minute, it'll restart it. So we'll be good to go till the end.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So we probably only really need one room then, really, don't we?
I go with the 2 because it makes it easier for me.
Okay, so we're going to start just doing pre-show and then just going back and have the...
We're going to do it normal, and I'll just figure out what happened.
Okay. But I'm saying do the have a link for the pre-show and then for the first hour, and then the second hour we just go back to the first hour maybe?
No,
I don't know.
No, we're going to do like we always do. I'll
Okay.
just figure out what happened on that.
Now,
Why it
I was
wouldn't
able
connect.
to get into that room, but I was the only one in there.
Hmm?
I was able to get into the room, but I was the only one in it.
Okay, I'm back.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
for the
was there, but it wouldn't let me call. It said there was an issue, so we're still here. We're good. So
Cool.
we're going to make it work.
Come on up, Blue. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come on. Come on. In or out? I'm not leaving the door open, man.
How do you send that quick? It's you send a message and it says quick reply. How do you do that?
Hmm?
Where you send it to me? Well, I don't know. you send a message to me and it pops up a little window. It says quick reply where I can make a quick reply. How are you sending me that message?
It automatically does that.